But okay, thank you guys for tuning in to this last video in the series. And in today's video, we're gonna talk about what you probably all been waiting for, and that's how do you turn someone on? This is where attracting your crush becomes super fun because there's nothing better than tension. And that's really what this is all about. It's creating that tension. So what is sexual attraction and how do you create it? Well, in my eyes, it's made of two things. It's tension and breaking rapport. So, tension, you can feel it. Like there's a pull of attraction, maybe like a slightly awkward moment, or the girl says, oh, like, I don't know if this is, like she says something unrelated to sex, but you like make it related to sex. And there's kind of like a funny, awkward moment of tension. And you kind of look at her and it's just, and so that can be sexual tension. A very basic and innate way to create sensual tension is just to have good eye contact. So when you have good, strong eye contact between two people, and it can be between man or woman, or man and man, or woman and woman, when there's that pull of like feminine energy to masculine energy and you make eye contact, there's an energetic thing happening and you create it and you feel it, okay? And it's that dominance versus that submissive energy that just creates that pull. There's the positive and the negative. There's no really other way to describe it other than try eye contact with someone you find attractive. If you're the guy, don't look away. That's the thing. Don't look away. You will have like dominated in that situation. And that's, as socially strange as that sounds in our society, like women find dominance extremely attractive. So if you're being a little bitch boy and you're like looking all over the place, practice some meditation, practice looking people in the eyes and being strong and like a rock, like a mountain in that tension. And you will pierce through and you'll be dominant and it'll be dope. That's it. Eye contact is pretty simple, but now, you got to think about what do you actually say. In the previous video, we talked about how to ask quality questions to your crush so that you have a good conversation going. Now, understand too that with attraction, when you're asking these questions, it is attractive. Like that is in itself attractive because you're coming from a position of knowing what you want, which is it's a position of the opposite of desperation. It's like you know what you want, so you're not desperate for anyone, which in itself is attractive. Number two, this is something that I realized, which was huge for me. It's that by the simple fact that you are who you are, and you're attracted to someone and they are who they are, you have the energy in you. And that often is enough. You don't have to have these crazy extraneous lines. Sure, they can be fun and I'm gonna give them to you. But the simple fact that if you're a guy watching this, you're a guy and girls are girls. Guys and girls are attracted to each other simply by the fact that you are a guy and she's the girl. Or again, if you're guy to guy or girl to girl or bisexual or I don't know, whatever you are. Now I'm going to give you some proper lines that you can say to kind of start the initial breaking of rapport and building tension in your interaction. And I've actually written a few of them down on my computer to just give you an idea of kind of what this could be. One that I talked about in the video with Abby about how to get your crush to like you, asking where they're from, and then wherever they say they're from, just be like, oh, you're from Colorado? Ouch. Or like, is it true what they say about girls from Colorado? She'll be like, what do you mean? Is it true? What do they say about girls from Colorado? And you just look at them and be like, you can make something up like, oh, I heard that they date their cousins or something like that. It's funny, it's weird, it just makes the interaction, it adds a little flair to it, right? And it shows that you're not a super serious person. You're fun, you can let loose and have a good time. Okay, a few other ones I'm gonna share with you. I'll just rattle some of them off. I'm gonna rattle them off like one after another, but what I want you to understand is that you don't do this. Like, you don't rattle them one after another. You ask a quality question, like qualifying who they are and having some form of seriousness to it to figure out, do you like this person, and get them talking. And then once in a while, you come in with something witty, charming, and like less serious, right? So here's some things you might say. I think one of the best teasing lines you can say to, if you're a guy or a girl, is just like drop them in the friend zone. It is so funny to do, like exaggerating. It basically looks like this. It's like, oh, like, wow, we have so much in common. You're my new best friend. We're gonna be besties. And they're gonna look at you and be like, in their head, they're like, besties? I don't wanna be besties. Another one that's funny is you can, I guess this one's a little bit messed up, but whatever. You can joke about how you guys are so similar, or we have the same skin tone or something like that, and because of that, we could be siblings. Like, oh, you're like my little sister. Oh, you're so cute. Oh my God, you remind me of my little sister. You could be my little sister. Anytime where you joke about how you're not interested in them, but like the sub-communication is that you are, your words aren't aligning with the feeling, and it creates attraction. It's funny, right? And they feel it. And they're like, what do you mean I could be your little, what? No, what? You know, it's funny. Another funny way to flirt is to say lines like, oh, you won't like me because I'm too perfect. Or you won't like me because I'm just addicted to having too much sex. Or just like massively disqualifying yourself. Anytime you disqualify yourself, like it raises your attraction. So if you say stuff like, oh, you won't like me, like I'm a virgin, or something along the lines of like, I just want to warn you, I'm on a 30-day celibacy challenge, so please don't try to screw that up for me. Another playful thing that you can say is just joke about how you guys would never work out as a couple, and then just keep listing reasons. Wow, you're awesome, but I just don't think we would ever work out as a couple. Be like, what do you mean? Be like, you're not blonde enough for me, or something stupid like that. Like, or you're just not, like, just make up something like, oh, well, I only date girls who wear red dresses, and like you're wearing blue right now. So now the key to all these lines is that you want to escalate. Okay, with breaking rapport and building attraction, you want to make everything you say like more witty and charming so that it isn't going down. And then obviously eventually you work in physical touching like that. Start off light and funny, like, ooh, you're from Colorado, and then break it down even more, like, oh, you wouldn't like me, I'm too perfect. And then even more, we would never work out as a couple. Now I'm gonna share with you a line you can use that's gonna get a lot of you guys and girls laid. And it's oh my God, I can't believe I'm telling you guys this. This is the reason that you should buy merch, because when I tell you this, you're gonna use it and it's just so good and powerful. Here's what it is. Okay, so basically let's say you're at a party or a bar or something like that, and you're talking to your crush, and you've been talking maybe 30, 40 minutes. You say something in their ear really strongly sexual. When you say it, you can make it like over the top sexual. And then they say, oh my God, what? They react really strongly. And then you ask them the question again, but it's like totally different. Let's just say you're talking to them, you get kind of close, and you smell them. You say like, you smell like you want to hook up in the bathroom right now. And they'll be like, what? What did you just say? And then you come back with, oh, I was just wondering if you knew where the bathroom is. And then you hold eye contact and they look at you and they're like, but that's not what. And then they look at you and they laugh and it's funny. And essentially, like, what you can keep doing is saying things that are over the top sexual, but then you pretend like you said something else, or you said just kidding, and you pull it back to a really simple, nerdy, basic question. Another tip I want to give you guys is don't hook up in public. Make the sexual tension like in the air, and then save the hooking up for when you go back to your place or their place. Okay, because there's nothing that kills an interaction and your chances of actually hooking up with your crush than doing it in public for everyone to see. And just like when you make out in public, it's okay, but just save it. Keep the sexual tension in public, like, to a minimum physically and to a maximum in the sub-communication. It's all about those sub-communications. So to summarize this entire video in like a few sentences, it would be: 1, know exactly what you want. 2, ask quality questions to the person you find attractive. And then 3, gradually escalate the sexual tension by making jokes, by saying things like, no, we would never work out as a couple, and joke about that kind of thing. Do this on repeat, and eventually you'll get really good at it, and you'll just be able to attract whoever you want instantaneously. One very last thing that I want to share with you is do not be afraid of putting people in the friend zone. In fact, every person I meet, I immediately friend zone them because I recognize myself as a high value person, and like I'm not just gonna go for anyone. So like I literally have to have a full conversation with someone to know if I would be interested in pursuing them, because like I'm not just gonna take anybody. I have my standards, I have my values, and that's where I want you guys to be, because I know that you guys have inherent value. You just have to identify it. So that being said, buy merch tonight, 8 p.m., and buy some for your crush. Drop in the comments some good pickup lines that we can all take and use. And I hope you guys have enjoyed this series. I will see you shortly. Happy Thanksgiving. I love you, and I wish you the best. DM me how this stuff is going for you too, because I love to hear that. All right. Peace.
Put on for the game directly. It's what I manifest.